This sad news is going viral on the internet, everyone. There is undoubtedly something shady going on here, so let's break it down. The incident occurred on February 3rd in Maryland, and authorities have confirmed that it is a homicide. Ronnie Doe, Chrisean Rock's ex-boyfriend, who was always accused of being Junior's biological father, was shot and killed. Occurred during a paternity battle to prove that Chrisean's baby was his, and not Blueface's. Police discovered Ronnie lying just outside his house. They gave him medical attention right away and took him to the University of Maryland Medical Center, but he passed away despite their best efforts to save his life. Authorities have determined that this was a targeted attack and are working to find his killer. Word of Ronnie's passing spread quickly, particularly after his uncle posted on Facebook. His uncle hoped that Ronnie and his family would receive justice for his premature death. He continued by writing, "It hurts so bad that your life was taken, but I know you are at peace now. I love you and will truly miss you. R.I.P." His post was emotional, saying, "This feels like a nightmare. I've been crying all night. I'm not supposed to bury you, nephew. You're supposed to bury me." Karen, as I mentioned before, everyone is chatting, and bringing up Ronnie and Chrisean Chan was still playing around with Blueface, and the two had a whole thing going on with their Rock relationship and this supposed issue with the fraternity exam. When Ronnie began claiming that Chan Jr. was, in fact, his kid and not Blueface's in October of last year, he even filed a lawsuit to support his claims. It's unfortunate how far individuals can go to control a lie, Ronnie continued in this post. "My son and my baby mom.
I deserve to have that proven to me through what? A DNA test. If Junior is not my son, the DNA test will prove that. Right or wrong? Right."
Many people called him a clout chaser at the time, claiming that he was allegedly inciting all of the drama and controversy in order to profit from Chrisean's fame, money, and network. They said, "That's not your son. You just want clout." Ronnie, however, made it clear to everyone and to the streets that he wasn't interested in the money or the fame, but rather that he only wanted to get closure with his child and accept responsibility for his actions. He took to Instagram to say, "I deserve to have that proven to me through what a DNA test can show." He added that if the test reveals that he is the father, he wants the opportunity to be a stand-up man. Additionally, he claimed that Blueface was aware that Chrisean had allegedly been between two men around the time she conceived. This is especially true because the DNA test allegedly revealed that he was not excluded as the biological father of the fetus, meaning Junior could be his. This is not the first time that the child's paternity has been questioned. Blueface, who is thought to be the father, has previously voiced doubts despite a DNA test that appeared to confirm his fraternity with Chrisean Crazy in Love in 2023. Blueface later claimed that a covert test showed he was not the father. Explain to me why I snuck a swab. When the results of this baby's DNA test showed that I am not the father, I scratched my head. It was a bittersweet feeling because I was starting to come to terms with it. But unquestionably in my best interest, thank you, Jesus. But now everything has completely changed. Ronnie was shot by Blueface and Crone, who took full responsibility for the baby. One of his actions was to confront Blueface's mother, Carissa, about the situation. The two of them spent an hour on Instagram Live talking about it, and Carissa sympathized with him, saying that he had a right to know whether the baby was his.
Specifically wanted to talk to you because you are the mother of Blueface. You are the person that's being dealt the bad hand right now, as my mother once was. So I have somewhat sympathy for you and also for Junior. For me, it was honestly just a place of concern and, just some respect that I feel like you deserve as a mother, because my mother was going through a lot when I was dealing with Chrisean. As you know, I caught the body. we caught some other cases together, like God, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. Just even the case that she has going on right now in Maryland. Unfortunately, I know about that one. So long story short, what I'm trying to say is I wanted to speak with you to raise your awareness to the type of snake that you got around you and your son. Because I don't really think that you are aware. I don't think that your son is aware. And I don't know, like, I'm not trying to come off like messy, but I'm really just trying to be here for Junior. And at the same time,
I think that's where I was offended too. Like, I get it. You have an attachment to him.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But it just kind of came out of nowhere. So that's probably where I was like, okay, I don't think I could be unbiased with you, because it does make me feel a certain type of way, you know, because for a whole year, he's been my baby. I've been praying for him. I've been worried about him. I've been stressed about him. I've been going off on my son. So when you say that, it did kind of make me feel like we wasn't on the same, you know, and naturally we wouldn't be. If he turned out to be my son, you would feel some type of way, my
yeah,
grandson. And if he turned out to be yours, I would feel some
right,
type of way. So naturally, once we got to that line, I felt like I couldn't talk to you without having some type of, you know, bias towards you. And that's why I didn't do the interview.
yeah. No,
Because you kept referring to him, you know, as your son, you know what I'm saying? And I'm referring to him as my son. And I don't want to be rude to you and, you know, make you feel a certain type of way, because if that's really your intention, is to find out if he your son, you know, I've been there. I want you to have that.
Yeah, that's my only intention, honestly. It's overwhelming, you know, trying to address it. And I apologize for just if I'm not addressing it in the best manner. Because you a mother at the end of the day, you are his potential.
I mean, yeah, you kind of came a little heavy on me, because but I get it though. You wanted to get your point across, and I wasn't giving you felt like, but that's why I let Tasha K know that you was looking for her. It wasn't like I didn't try to, you know, get you your closure too.
She came to the conclusion that, contrary to what the media claimed, Ronnie's tenacity in trying to determine the child's paternity could not have been only clout chasing.
Okay, so this is what we need to do, y'all. We need to give that man his test so he can be relieved, because he's starting to... At first, I was like, maybe he doing it for clout. But then I was like, that's why I didn't interview him. I was like, maybe he doing this for clout. But then I thought about it. I said, he could just get clout off her, because he was there when she had the baby. He could just get the clout off her. Why go with the extremes about the baby? Because he could just be running around being a clout. They have those too. He could just be like, you know, whenever she pop up, he could just put her on the internet. He could have been got clout off her, is what I'm saying. He could have been got clout off of her if supposedly he was with her at the times that she got pregnant. He could have been got clout. Real clout. He could have clout chased the whole way and, you know what I'm saying, been all the way up already. It's not making sense that all of a sudden he just want to get clout off the baby. So maybe he just really feels, and then he got a loving family like Blue got, so his family probably wants to know if they got a baby out there. And I wouldn't dare never ever let my son just be walking around and we got a baby out here and we ain't claiming it. I personally would go and get the baby myself and give him to my son. What you trying to do? We don't do that over here. So maybe he got the same kind of family as Blue got. I'm thinking his family putting the pressure on him, because if he got a kid out here, ain't nobody's family finna just let their kid be roaming around. I don't know where y'all do that at.
Ronnie went to great lengths to prove that the baby was his, whether he was clout chasing or not. However, at some point, his enthusiasm must have gotten on the nerves of some very important people. Let's go back to the time he literally pulled up on Cran while she was out grocery shopping at the mall after Thanksgiving. Ronnie continued to videotape her so much that she felt uncomfortable and had to call the police to come on out. As it got deeper, Ronnie began piecing things together. together and discovered that Chrisean's father isn't just any old man. He's a politician and a lawyer, and he has influence in Baltimore, which is why every time Cran and her sister get into a sticky situation, they leave Scott alone and without charging him. The same man who has been covering for Cran her entire life is now giving Ronnie a get-out-of-jail-free card. He was merely attempting to be involved in his son's life, but the forces against him were too great. The man was engrossed in a real-life chess game, and when people began to blame Cran for Ronnie's death and for not providing him with the closure he had requested before he passed away, Miss Girl shared a picture of a DNA test she had completed in 2023, which verified that she was the mother and Blue was the father. She also offered her condolences to his family and asked anyone with information about who might have been responsible for his death to contact the police or his family. As I mentioned, the streets are talking and fingers are pointing, especially at Chrisean, because the report she posted was allegedly a fake one. Chrisean's DNA test with Ronnie was due this week, and suddenly he's dead. Not from an accidental OD or a car accident. No, he has it in front of his crib. I'm not sure, but M seems really ripped. I hope his family can move on and find peace. Our Con Rock. More people are pointing the finger at Con for the entire situation, acknowledging that Chrisean was a contributing factor in that man's demise. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and don't leave until you hit the like and subscribe buttons because there is a lot more coming up the pipeline. Ronnie sincerely wanted to be a father to her son, but he is now mysteriously dead. This is a deep story, and we haven't heard the end of it. See you later.